everyone. Welcome to the another episode of TACOS, where we will be talking about community and open source. This talk show is all about honoring the people and their contributions to building and nurturing community in the open source technology and cybersecurity for the safer world. In this episode, we are going to talk with Viral Parmar. So basically, Viral Parmar is a cybersecurity researcher by profession and open source enthusiast working in the field of cybersecurity from last 7 years with the expertise of cybercrime investigation, cyber law, public key, infrastructure, social engineering, ocean, web pen testing, digital forensic, data protection, intellectual property rights, and privacy policy. Viral is a developer advocate, educator, consultant. He started world's biggest privacy awareness campaign named Logout to aware people about privacy and security. And till now, he has given 700 plus seminars and workshops around the globe. Also, he is the director of ComExpo Cyber Security Foundation. It is a non-profit section at organization. All in nutshell, Viral is an international tech speaker, has given the speech more than 10 plus countries and around 250 plus famous websites. So welcome Viral to the tacos. We cannot hear you, Viral. No, we can start hear you.
So now can you hear me?
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
કેમ છો?
બસ મજામાં. તમે કેમ છો?
બસ મજામાં. So basically, કેમ છો is generally people have greet when two Gujus are meet, right? So just for the
Yeah.
people who are just not able to relate it. So welcome to Tacos, Viral. Uh, I think I have this is by far the longest bio that I read because I know that you did this fantastic job in the community that you're doing. So I have follow-up questions, and I'm sure I have a lot of things that I need to explore from you, and so many people want to know about it. So you have solved more than 500 plus cybersecurity crime, right? And which is a great number. The only thing I want to ask, like, how did you help people? And first, how did you start? Like any case come or any kind of a complaint that comes to you or any sort of question that comes to you, how do you start?
So first of all, a lot of people actually didn't directly came to me. I was actually working with law enforcement agencies that back then in 2016, 17. And while I was working there, and we saw a lot of cases of cybercrime there, and I was also learning in that phase of at that time cybercrime investigation and other things. So I saw that people become victim of cybercrime just because they are not aware, and then we have seen that people are always don't want to go to police station or don't want to report a file, and they're looking for people online that who can actually help them, right? So in that manner, people actually came to me and asked for my help, that I have been victim of this kind of cybercrime, what should I do, another thing. So I always help them, obviously, whatever I can, and then also told them to obviously go through the legal procedure and complain the cybercrime and in police station and all, but still they don't want to. So we somehow help them. And so this is how I started with working in domain of cyber crime investigation and learn this thing with law enforcement agency while working with them, obviously, and help a lot of people. As of now also, we on regular basis, I get, I think, maximum number of cybercrime cases on regular basis than the local cyber crime cell that actually we have in nearest vicinity. So it happens a lot because they don't want to go to police station, they want to report. They don't want to report because their reputation, their name will be diminished, right? So that's why they just look for people's help online, and they find me somehow, I don't know. So that might happens.
Okay, so the only thing that that comes in mind, this kind of a thing is very fancy these days. Like earlier, like 10 years back, cybersecurity is not that much boom, but now it is very much fancy. People talk about bounty, vulnerabilities. Thinking about vulnerabilities, I've read that you found vulnerability in BCCI, Colors TV, Intel, and many other famous websites. So how did you find it?
So In 2015, I would say that I just graduated from college and I was keen to interest and learn cybersecurity and all this thing. And actually, the first thing that I did in domain of cybersecurity, or we can say hacking, right? So obviously, it was hacking kind of things, not ethical hacking or not cybersecurity even, right? So I started doing phishing attacks on friends, families, and all. So I used to hack into all their accounts and everything. And then also I found, so I learned all this web application pen testing things and all. So I thought, why cannot I can actually hack into some website? So I started doing hacking website basically. So it was started with small bugs. Then and whatever the website that comes into your mind, or whatever the website that you see in front of you, we start doing I start doing hacking. So कोई भी वेबसाइट हो, कोई भी बिजनेस हो, मैं सबसे पहले वेबसाइट का देखता हूँ फीचर क्या है, फंक्शन क्या है, पहले मैं टेस्ट करता हूँ ये हैक हो सकती है कि नहीं. So it just become your nature actually when you are doing working in domain of cybersecurity. Yeah, it becomes our habit. So whatever, whenever we see any website, any application, first of all we would like to try to hack it and see what kind of things, what kind of vulnerabilities is there in the website. So that's how I started, and I did a lot of found vulnerabilities in various companies and websites, and very well-known websites as well. And for a year or two, I did on regular basis. Then I reported, obviously I reported all these bugs to these companies, and I didn't got anything back from them. So that's why then leaving that website, then we there was few platforms that initially that started at moment of time. So we actually got into that, and then we made some money out of it as well. So yeah, that's how I started.
Okay, I hope your family and friends didn't mind when you hacked their websites. Did you tell them that you did that, or
Uh,
just a surprise for them?
even they even don't know about right now as well. I hacked their accounts.
Okay. Okay. And one more thing, I know it is very fascinating and it sounds very interesting. So can I say this is what made you interested into pursuing cybersecurity domain, or there is something else, or there is any other motivation? है ना बोलते हैं ना कि because I heard this somewhere, I think we that मेरी गर्लफ्रेंड भाग गई तो अभी उसका अकाउंट हैक करने के लिए आई वांटेड टू गो साइबर सिक्योरिटी.
So no, 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 nothing like that. So not with me, obviously. So when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of Hollywood movies. I seen a lot of movies. Like you name the movie, I have seen it. So I had that kind of an interest in watching movie and all. Even today as well. So I watch movies a lot on regular basis. At least one movies I see in 24 hours. So that kind of addiction I have with the movies and all. Mostly Hollywood movies, obviously, because they have suspense, action, and a lot of things. So when I was younger, I saw a few movies like Matrix, then Hacker. There was a movie called Hacker, in which we can see that the Angela Jolie was there in the movie, and they were actually all hackers, and they hack into telephone system, they hack into networks, they hack into website, they hack into TV channel, they hack into almost everything. So that intrigued me, and obviously that was cool in the movie. It has been shown that this is cool thing to do, right? If you're a hacker, you are a cool person or a cooler person. You can do a lot of things, right? You can do anything basically. So that intrigued me, and I also wanted to become cool. So obviously, when we are younger and we are mostly stupid, I would say that. So I wanted to be the cool guy, right? So I wanted to learn this thing. I wanted to understand that how this thing works, how hacking works, and I wanted to do that hacking, right? I want to be the cool guy. So that intrigued me, and then later on, a lot of other movies I also saw which actually have some cool gadgets and cool hacking techniques and all. But later on, I understand a lot of other things that is shown in the movie are like fake, but it's not hacking, but it's fake, kind of thing. But yes, the interest that actually got into me, that then I want to be an hacker. So when I was in 10th standard, so at moment of time I had some other ambitions. But then when I saw this kind of movie, and it actually intrigued me, and I wanted to be this hacker, right? So not ethical hacker, not cybersecurity expert, not cybersecurity researcher, hacker. I just had that thing in my mind that I want to be a hacker. And then after, obviously, I had this thing in mind. So I did bachelor's in bachelor's in computer engineering, to understand that actually how computer works and how we can actually hack into computer, that right. So that's how I started into like getting into the domain of cybersecurity. In second third year, I started learning cybersecurity from internet and all. There were no institution, there were no classes, there were no community at that time. So I learned by myself.
Um, I totally I can vouch for that because all the cybersecurity people, they are actually considered to be a cool guy. Why? Because when I say someone that I'm a software engineer, then they don't pay that much attention. But when I say I'm into cybersecurity, then okay, they are show the interest. Okay, what do you do in cybersecurity then? So then that interest started. So that's the only reason even I moved my career into somewhere into the security area, so that I also want to be the cool guy like you guys. But yeah, I am not reached to that level yet. But yes, I so basically I remember one scene from because I also addiction of when I start one any kind of web series, I spend my whole day to complete that, right? But one more motivation, one I think you suggested me to watch. There's a series called Suit, right? In that I seen couple of places where they hack into the system. But I really like one character when he said like life is this, I like this. So when he says software engineer this, cybersecurity this.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
uh,
people mostly be afraid of hackers, or we can say security researchers. So software developer usually no be afraid of software tester, right? Quality tester, QA and all. But even QA is actually afraid of cybersecurity researcher or hacker, because they know that after testing their application, even security researcher will find more vulnerabilities than he found in the web application.
Exactly. And sometimes they don't find a solutions to that. And they are कि यार ये क्या नया लेके आ गया अभी इसका कहाँ से मतलब because the problem is nowadays there are so many tools are there who can help you to like these are the vulnerabilities there. But those tools is based on the automation. Still, I think the manual testing is considered to be more powerful, right? What do you think?
So obviously, manual testing is best. Even most of the companies that are actually willing to do an application pen testing on their application, they always want that it has to be manual penetration testing. There are many reasons. One is that it may be accurate, mostly accurate. That person know what are the vulnerabilities and how he can find it, he or she can find it, and use their own scripts and codes and everything. And second thing is that if someone is using automated tools, then obviously there are multiple pings or multiple requests that is sent to the server. And if let's say a server is not capable of that, obviously there will be this DDoS kind of attack will be there, right? So that actually penalizes the whole application and everything, and it won't we can say serve that benefit, right? So that's why most of the companies actually says that we need an application pen testing, but it has to be manual instead of automation.
Right. And I've seen that you constantly, because I see that you every week you are delivering a lecture, you're working on multiple projects. And the most interesting part is that you are doing couple of projects which actually helping society or helping people by getting more education into cybersecurity domain. Under I think the foundation that you're running right now, ComExpo Cyber Security. Could you please tell us more about the project that you're running right now?
So we have this organization called ComExpo Cyber Security Foundation. It's a non-profit section organization in India, and under that we have multiple projects on specifically running and awareing people about cybersecurity. One is Log Out Cyber Awareness Campaign, where we go to school and colleges and aware people about cybersecurity. As in basic cybercrime, what is cybercrime, how it happens, and all. Then we have a community called the Hackers Meetup, which is a technical cybersecurity community. So people who have a basic knowledge of cybersecurity or want to learn more or want to get knowledge about the latest things, what is happening in the domain of cybersecurity, can join in and learn things from a lot of well-known speakers across India and out of India as well. Then we have a project called Security Funnel, where which is again it's an open source project where people who become a victim of cybercrime or any kind of issue that they are facing over the internet, that they can report to us and we can actually help them. Then we have a project called Open Source Fest, Open Source Weekend. In Open Source Weekend, we actually aware people about latest open source technology, open source projects and all. So like that, we have multiple projects that we actually working on and running on, and also we have CCIS, that is Center for Cyber and Information Security, which is an actually a think tank, India's first cyber security think tank, where our focus is on cyber security research. So we want to research, or we are actually doing research work in there, that let's say a lot of people actually become victim of cybercrime, how they become victim of cybercrime, what are the reasons, and how that happens. Then let's say if some companies is there and they also become victim of cybercrime, cyber attack, and right. So how that happens and what are they have done, what are the things that they have done wrong, and then they become victim of cybercrime and all. Also, like latest technologies that is happening or running around the domain of cybersecurity. We are doing research on regular basis, finding some good research topics, latest topics like zero trust approach or container orchestration security. The latest topics that we are working on. We have published a lot of research paper as well. And I would like to also say this thing and take this opportunity that if you are interested in the domain of cybersecurity or have knowledge and you want to write a research paper, so actually you can reach out to me and I can surely get you on board with us or in our team, and we can write some good research paper as well. And latest topics like even malware as well. So we also doing AI ML based malware analysis and sampling and a lot of other things we are doing. So multiple projects.
Okay, this is all projects are very interesting, but among that, I would like to ask you that logout sounds very interesting. So, first question is like, how did you come up with this name?
So we usually we were sitting in office one day and we were thinking about we actually been on regular basis. We used to deliver a lot of sessions on cyber awareness, basic awareness, at how cybercrime happens and how to not to become a victim of cybercrime. What are the things precautions that you might take care of? Then we thought of why not make it big, right? We want to do a big event and big awareness program. So we were thinking about what kind of name that we can actually come up with or have of this cyber awareness campaign. And then after huge brainstorming, I would say that for 2 to 3 hours, we come up with this name Logout, because this is the first thing we do when we are afraid of getting hacked, right? So if you think that you are getting hacked, or let's say your account is hacked, what is the first thing that you do? You log out, right? Or you switch off your phone, you log out of your application and other things, right? So that's the best thing. Whenever you think that you are becoming a victim of cybercrime, you log out, and you log out in the sense of log out to us and meet us, and we will help you to get out of this cybercrime, right? So that's how we come up with the name.
That's a really means I remember that while you guys also did one conference, right? Logout,
Yes.
the cyber awareness conference. That was, I would say, the biggest cyber conference at that time. It was in
Yeah.
2018 or 19.
It was in 2017.
2017. Yes, I
Yes.
remember like there was so many people, and I think almost all news channel actually covered about that
Yeah.
event. I still remember that, and
Yeah.
kudos to that. So, just wanted to ask, like, is this something any new that you are going to come up with this under, or uh, the only thing that you guys are do is just the conference that you do once in a year, or anything is new that you're going to add it into this?
Yeah, so obviously the conference is a good thing that we can gather more people together at same time and invite other well-known speakers as well. So obviously we do the this logout cyber awareness conference on regular basis every year basically, and obviously October is an international cyber awareness month. So even last year as well and previous year as well. So on regular basis every year in the October month we focus on October month because it is an international cyber awareness month. So we try to conduct maximum events possible. So last year we had more than around I think 100 plus events in the whole month, and we want to increase the number. Obviously, we want to organize more and more event on regular basis in October month specifically. Within getting more and more speakers and all. So it is an actually a volunteer-based project, so anyone can join in, anyone can learn, anyone can actually deliver talks on the domain of cybersecurity, specifically cyber awareness. So we also train them, right? So they can join in, and we actually go to nearest school colleges whenever they are across the India, not just Gujarat state, across the India, and we deliver session. Even this time we are thinking of reaching out to other countries as well. So was recently just we did one event with Pakistan, and soon in upcoming months we are planning on doing pan Asia events even in Africa as well. So maybe this year in October we'll have logout event in minimum 5 to 7 countries, I would say that. So that's what we are planning in, and we might be having the big events, cyber awareness even this year. And also not just that, so we are not just doing events. So event is just one part where we actually reach out to people and aware them about basic cyber awareness and cyber crimes, right? But besides that, obviously we have a lot of material we have created. We have a lot of videos, we have a lot of games. We have created a lot of games to aware people about cybercrime. So that is also there. Then we have created a lot of content. We have created some graphics. We have created some there are cartoons characters and all this thing. We have a mascot as well. Uh, we have created a dictionary as well, cyber dictionary. So whatever the latest topics, latest words that you might hear in domain of cybersecurity or cybercrime, so you will find that word in our dictionary. So cyber dictionary is there, cyber awareness manual is there, a lot of content is there, and a lot of volunteers, a lot of people actually helping us to create that content, right? So it will be huge event in this year, obviously next year as well, and we are planning to get maximum people on board, maximum organization on board. Either it's a government, I'd say it's a police, law enforcement agencies, or other countries, institutes, and a lot of people. So it will be huge event this year, and obviously we are planning bigger event next year. That's for sure.
I would say I really like your enthusiasm, and what I can see over here, I can see you are connecting people from different parts of the globe, right? And that's fascinating that you are first thing that we said that you're going to have the second logout event in Pakistan. So that was great to hear, and you are guys are doing in more 5 countries. That's fascinating. So I know you are a building. You are one of the strong community guy, which I know, and I know that you're constantly doing a lot of events. Even I still remember in the COVID pandemic, I've seen a lot of people who are doing virtual events, but if I would say that I've seen the anyone who did the maximum number of online events, so that was you, and you are running this community called the Hackers Meetup, right? And you guys do a lot of events and so many amazing speakers that you brought into this chapter. And I think in India you have more than I think 15 plus chapters, I guess more, and
Yeah.
you launched a couple of more chapters in other countries as well. So just wanted to ask you, I don't want to ask you that what is your future plan, but the only thing, what motivates you to keep on doing, because you do a lot of stuff, right? And doing something in community and keep that going, it's very important. And how you maintain that, what motivate you to running this amazing community.
So I would say that when I actually how it started, I would say that that's my motivation point. So when I actually learned this thing, cybersecurity and all this thing, and then I started a company with my few friends, and at that moment we were like, people first of all not aware of cybersecurity domain, and there are people who actually want to learn cybersecurity, understand cybersecurity, or even share as well. People who have knowledge they would like to share, but there were no platform, there were no community at that moment of time. And across India, I would say that there are few, but they were not that much good, or not people are not aware of, right? So specifically, if I talk about Gujarat, so even there were no single community was there, and we wanted to give a platform to people who are having knowledge in domain of cybersecurity and would like to share their knowledge and experience with other people as well. So we thought, why not we can do that? So we started with this thing that we'll have, and every month we'll have one event, the hackers meetup, that in where we actually hackers will meet. Right, this is how we come up with them, that hackers will meet and we'll have a meetup. We'll discuss about those kind of a discussion forum kind of a thing that we would like to wanted to have, and like to kind of an research group, I would say that study group. So but then it became like that people have knowledge and experience, would like to share their experience, and a lot of people wanted to learn or understand things that is happening in the domain of cybersecurity, right? So that's how we started, and we initially in the first event we had almost 5 to 7 people. I would say that that's the first number we had. Then later on, from 5 to 7 to 15, 15 to 30, 30 to 50, 50 to now on regular basis. Let's say if I just post one poster that we are having hackers meetup in tomorrow, I would say that Sunday. So I think minimum 150 people will actually come up to attend the event without any promotion, without any reach or anything. The people know the community now. So if we just have this one poster, that is good enough to get around 150 people on an average. That is minimum, I would say that is minimum number of people will come and attend our event, because just because the name that we have built in last 5 6 years.
That's actually very interesting because I would say the best part is that you are continuously doing it. Consistency is very important in this way. For example, if you do not have any engagement with the people or volunteer or the members who are already part of the community in let's say 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, I think they might lose interest. That is one of the era where when people left the community. And I'm seeing that you constantly doing it, anyways, rather like whatever the activities they're doing, but I've seen the continuously you're doing something, and what I see that all you always do for the I think betterment of like how you can make aware people about it, right, in
Yeah.
the different domain, which I've already seen that. And you yourself deliver so many sessions around the globe, right? When I was going through, even we delivered one session together in
Yeah.
USA or in. And the only thing which I found difference is when you deliver a session in India over here, your audience will be different, right? But when you deliver a session in other part of country, because the language is different, the culture is different, the way they understand, be right, that is totally different. So, what any particular experience which you would like to share in the conferences or speeches that you given, not in India, but any international space, any experience that maybe you recall to you that okay, this is weird or this is strange or this is
Uh,
interesting, awesome, like that.
So I think because of the topics that I choose usually are cyber security. So people who are and obviously I mentioned that this thing that this topic is for people who have not for beginner level, right? Because mostly my talks are mostly hands-on or practical on cyber security, right? So I would say that the people who actually have basic knowledge of cyber security they used to attend our events. Now they understand the tech language. I would say that they understand the tech language now. I have to just show them that what I do and how it happens, and that's it. But while doing all this thing, so they mostly don't understand that what actually happens. It seems like it's a magic, right? So I just do something and it does something and this thing happens, right? So they are like, okay, this is something new I never seen that, and I want to know how that happens. So we obviously discuss and we teach them, we explain them, and after the event, they were like, कि यार आप मेरे गुरु बन जाओ. I want to learn this thing. I want to become an expert in this thing. And people, when I go to international talks and get delivered international talks, so I might see one or two Indian person, right? So and this Indian one or two Indian person, they're like, yeah, I feel very proud when person from India come to USA or UK or Europe or somewhere, and he delivered talks on cybersecurity because like obviously they know cybersecurity and all this thing, but this thing is like kind of a proud moment for me as they actually say that, and I was like, okay, this is very moment that actually feels me proud that I am proud of myself that I did something and people telling me this thing, right? Even not just Indians, obviously foreigners as well. They also say that this is something interesting. Would like to understand, learn this thing from you. How you can teach me, or can you join us? Or a lot of companies, a lot of companies are also there. They're like, we also want this kind of process, or we want to understand this thing, or we want to implement this cybersecurity pen testing, all those things in our company. So obviously this kind of thing happens a lot. Also, I deliver a lot of talks on open source projects or open source, softwares and technologies and all. So where I have seen people who are like uh, kind of known to open source, but not in the way that they are supposed to be, right? So when I talk about this is how that open source this technology works, and this is how you can actually contribute as well from your side, even minimum as well, right? So that's actually things that actually fascinate them, that okay, I can also contribute to this project. This is a huge project, right? How can I do that? So that kind of things actually intrigue me, and that actually keeps me going to teach more and more people and aware more and more people about these technologies or cybersecurity things.
I can totally relate to that when you said that someone is coming from India and you representing it. I feel that all the time whenever I go to any international stage and I represent, and when I say that hey, I am Mehul Patel from India, that feel is amazing. And when you got to know that is only a couple of people who are representing it, that's another feeling that they chose you to come there and just share the knowledge that you have. So that is one of the best part, and there are so many stories that is recalling me right now as well. But that is the best part when you go to any event, you networking, and I think kudos to you that you created a platform so that people come to explore the stage and they can also cherish those moments. So kudos to that you created this community, I would say a platform or a culture, a lot of other things. So that is the best part, right? The only thing out of curiosity I want to ask that you are running your foundation, you are running the company as well. You are running this community called Hackers Meetup. You are running this conference called Logout. You've been part of a lot of startup program where you are mentoring them as well. You are part of. You are also working with the local government cyber cells where you helping them to solve their cases. How do you manage your time? That is most important because people keep asking me, and I would say you are doing more than me. So I think I would ask you.
So it's just the enthusiasm, I would say, that the enthusiasm actually drive me for doing all this work. So usually, even people ask me that, as you mentioned, so how do you manage all this thing and how you work more hours, right? Even in the night when my friends from USA, Canada, they actually ping me at night. So I was like replying that they were like, yeah, oh yeah, अभी तक सोया नहीं? I was like, भाई काम चल रहा है भाई. So this is just because the enthusiasm, the I would say that I would say that the aim that I want to achieve or the things that I want to do, right? So I want to do this thing, so I have some aims that I want to achieve that, right? So for that I put in more and more efforts at whatever. I don't mind that whatever the time is, whatever the situation is, right? So I put more efforts in my work life right now because I have time to give in my work life, right? So I sleep not more than 6 hours on 24 hours. So rest of the hours I'm working, I'm doing something, something creative, something that actually helping me in the future. So I do on regular basis. I do a lot of work on regular basis. I meet people, I greet people, I talk to people, I deliver sessions. Like I do a lot of stuff. Even I don't know how many stuff I'm doing. Sometimes I got confused that आज क्या क्या करना था भाई हुआ कि नहीं हुआ, right? So it happens a lot. That's why I keep on my like work calendar that on regular basis what kind of things has to be done and which date, right? So I have to do that. Otherwise, obviously, I even forget the things that I have to do. Then people remind me, "Arey, bhai, this has to be done by this date." I was like, "Okay, let me do that first." It happens a
Uh,
lot.
I personally very bad into manage my calendar, and so because I forgot a lot. And I'm still mess, but I would like to be organized, and the way you doing and successfully doing, that is the when you do something and you do successfully, that is totally another story. So I that is something a motivation for me as well, and that is also the purpose of the starting this podcast, where I wanted to bring the story of the people who are doing so amazing work in that area, and people don't know about it, so that that can also help or add some value in their life, right? And I know that you are running a very successful organization in Gujarat, but though I would like to ask that why not in Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, like these other cities where you get a more opportunity, right? Because I'm from Maharashtra, and I've seen that the amount of people who would like to, the enthusiasm is crazy. So what's motivated you, and because you're running a successful organization in Gujarat, so what is the reason that you established the organization in Gujarat?
So, so obviously, as you mentioned, so the IT hub is in Bangalore, Hyderabad, or Delhi, right? So I wanted to go there. I wanted to actually work in company in Bangalore, but then I saw this as an opportunity that cybersecurity domain is growing, and there were only one or two companies were there at that moment of time in Gujarat who are actually working domain of cybersecurity, and obviously I have seen this thing that, and I understand and know that, and Gujarati people have this business mind, right? So I had that business mind at that moment of time that, and that actually triggered me that I should do this thing because the 25% of the economy that is of India, right, is because of Gujarat. Gujarat is a, I would say, financial state which actually contribute a lot in India's economy and financially, obviously. And obviously, there are a lot of businesses in Gujarat who required services of cybersecurity, who required cybersecurity services, right? Solutions or services. So obviously, it is bit obviously hard. Sorry, it is bit little hard to get money out of Gujarati. But yes, obviously, when it comes to security, when it comes to their privacy and security or data and everything, they understand that yeah, it is worth paying, right? So if we convince person who is it is worth paying, then obviously we'll get good amount of money, right? So obviously we can make good amount of money because there are few people, because it is like financial state, we have more money to actually get. So it is a best state to actually start business of cybersecurity, so we get more and more opportunities and more money out of state.
Um, couldn't be agree more because even I recently shifted to Gujarat, and I would say that because I can see that motivation and the way startup is growing, and the way government even supporting to them. Right, the way even Gujarat government has a separate program which is running, and they're motivating, they do constantly events supporting them with all kind of support, I would say that. So that was the best part. Even I see couple of the business related events that actually pan India event that actually happened in Gujarat, not in any other states. So that is also one of the best part. And so I wanted to know that you said that at that time when you were thinking about to go in Bangalore or work for MNC, at that time you realized that cybersecurity domain was growing. But as I agreed that you started the Hackers Meetup in 2016, and I'm sure at that time there was no that much awareness of cybersecurity in general. People know just hack. Okay, I want to become a hacker, but cybersecurity is a domain, and there are a lot of things under that. So, what like did you face any difficulty because now you built a very strong community? But I'm sure in the beginning you might have faced some issues where people told you it's not going to work, or let's say ये नहीं चलेगा या तो फिर क्या कर रहा है kind of. So yes.
So, as I mentioned, so I saw how I started the community. So, I didn't had anything in mind. So at that time, I was like, okay, let's do this event. Let's aware people. That's it. And then when the number of people were increasing on regular basis, we then I have to look for other speakers as well. Initially, me and my team were the speakers. Then I asked my friends that why don't you come on this Sunday and deliver a talk here. Then a lot of students as well, we used to do training as well at that moment of time. So we thought even people students who are doing research work, tech students who are doing internship with us. So we told them, why don't you come and deliver deliver talk. Even it will actually help you to build your speaker quality, right? So that's how we started, and we had nothing in mind that moment of time that it will work or not. It's just we wanted to do it without any thinking about any outcome, right? So it's just then people actually came like from the age of I would say 12 to almost 60. They used to attend our event from all the domains, not just cybersecurity. Also, people who are from media, people who are doing normal IT job, people who are non-IT, people who are students who are doing masters or bachelors in cybersecurity, or even other background as well. Even children from like 10th 11th standards are also used to attend our events, and even from defense law enforcement people, a lot of people were used to, like diverse people used to attend our event. And then when they gave me feedback like this is the best thing that I have attended, and specifically in domain of cybersecurity there is nothing there rise of now, and you're doing great work. So that actually motivated me to do events more very often, and get more and more speaker different type of topics. So that's why we thought of why not we can cover all the whole domain of cybersecurity. So on regular basis, every month we actually pick up the different type of topic from the domain of cybersecurity. We would like to cover cybersecurity domain, all the domains of cybersecurity. That's how we started. And then the issue that we faced during that it was so success that people actually start copying it. So we used to do this hackers meetup event in our office. Then in Ahmedabad only we saw one or two hackers meetup that was happening, and I was like, "What? I'm not doing that, right? So who is that person?" Because the amount of marketing that we had, we didn't do many marketing, but it's just the we can say the reach out to become to people, right? People just hear the name hackers meetup and they come, right? Just using that only people used to copy our event and do the events in their offices. I was like, okay, this is not wrong, right? That's why I have to file the trademark, and in multiple sections. And even a lot of people actually start asking for money on to attend the hackers meetup, and obviously it's someone else, not us. So this kind of issue that we face, that when your project or when your this kind of campaign actually your project, right? So it started good, and reach out to more and more audience. So people start copying it. It happens a lot, and it happens everywhere, right? So that's kind of issue that we face. And then other issues that we face, that we have a limited speaker or limited people in Gujarat who are expert in domain of cybersecurity. So that is another issue that we face, that we have just this kind of people only. There are few people, 5 to 10 people max, in the domain of cybersecurity. So obviously, then we also thought of why not we work on focus on capacity building in the domain of cybersecurity. Then we went to that, and then obviously we just don't want to deliver talks. So we thought of why not we can do a lot of other things. So we started bug bounty programs, we started CTF campaigns, we started a lot of training programs, we started a lot of program to engage more and more people, and obviously to not just train them, or not just to teach them, also encourage them, empower them, and challenge them to, and also help them to actually reach out more and more audience as well. That if let's say you are just uh, past, you just recently graduated from you just completed your masters in cybersecurity, let's say, and people don't know you, people don't know who you are, what you do, what kind of experience, knowledge you have. So we are providing a platform, not just deliver talks, also share your experience, share your knowledge, publish research paper, publish your program, write a blog, we publish it for you, almost everything whatever you're looking for in your career, right? It will be an career changing opportunity that we are providing in our platform, in our community. And obviously community is, that's why it is doing huge and huge on regular basis. And we have just not a 15 chapters across India, we have more than 5 chapters right now, very active outside India as well. And recently we added 20 plus other chapters in institution based chapters. So we were thought of why not we can reach out directly schools and colleges, not schools obviously, but colleges first. So we have started 20 plus institution based chapters in multiple well known universities across India, and we are want to increase it more and more chapters to add in future.
The best part that I would like to add over here is running a successful community requires a leadership quality, because being a leader, you bring new leaders into the community. And I totally saying that, because I've seen a lot of amazing speakers. And yes, of course, as you said, that there are not so many experts in this domain, but the way I saying it, that cybersecurity is a very bright future, because even I've seen the organization has a huge number of vacancies now. They're hiring it because they know the importance of cybersecurity domain, right? Because there are various areas where you can explore in terms of career growth as well. And the best part is now people, they're giving an opportunity. They're doing an awareness program. They have even the university campuses extended some curriculums for them. But let's say, considering the R point, if you go back to in time, right, and you feel that there, if there is this kind of things was there, then that might would have been for a better career opportunity for you in terms of everything. Do you think that?
Yeah, obviously. So I think if we had the open campus kind of a structure, or our university have allowed, or given opportunity, or a lot of organizational community actually reach out at us at that moment of time, I think it would be great opportunity for me to learn this thing. So while I was doing or pursuing my bachelor's, if these communities or companies were there in my campus, I think mostly open source technology, obviously. Either it's in Mozilla, either it's OAPS, either any other communities would have been there. So I think it helped me a lot in my career, and I have gotten this domain a lot before that I was supposed to, right? So I think, and it's been more than 7 years now that I'm in this domain. So I think that would be more than 10 years, I would say that. So 10 years in the domain of cybersecurity, I think I much have grown further, and I have good and better opportunities in better communities, or better opportunity in my for my careers, right? Obviously, it will be helping me to create my bright future, right? So I think that if and obviously this is also time good time, that if universities and colleges are there, then they should allow any community, any projects or any campaign to get into their campus, and then aware people about their domain and projects or what they are doing, and give an opportunity to students who would like to or interested in this kind of domains, or this type of topics. Either it's a topic of developing, or it's a cybersecurity or DevOps. Whatever, there are a lot of topics and a lot of domains are there right now in IT industry, right? So if that kind of thing is happening now or can happen, so I think there will be a better future opportunity for the students who are right now in colleges. So that's why we started. Why not? or even actually I never wanted to start the chapters in institution because of a lot of issues that we might face. That's why, because I know a lot of colleges or universities don't allow such kind of things. But actually, with me, it happened in reverse side, that actually college and university approached me to start a chapter, the hackathon chapter in their campus. That's why we started, because they wanted us that they want us to be there in their campus and aware and teach their students and give them an opportunity that they can actually grab and then learn this thing and actually get a good we can say career placement or kind of things. So that is better, and it has to be there. And I also request a lot of university or colleges who are listening to us and faculties, so please allow the communities projects or campaigns in your campus, and give an opportunity to your students to learn things that is happening for many years, right? We have curriculum which is created almost 10 years back, right? And it is the same and never changes. So first of all, change your curriculum, change your content, give opportunity to people like us to actually help your students to give and get a better opportunity in the career.
I totally can relate to that because I myself coming from the Tier 2 city, and I did my education from one of the I would say one of the institute where that would be your last options to go. So where I did,
Okay.
and there was no culture of community, the events or nothing like that. But I would really, I feel that right now, if this kind of a things were that earlier, that it could have been the better for me right now. But I think what I feel right now, agar us time pe, if this kind of opportunity was there, I should not be that much active which I'm right now, because I didn't have options to search everything by myself right now. So I did that, and it's work for me. But what I'm saying is, university, thankfully, not every part in the India, but yeah, some part in India where they are open, that they are having the community campuses clubs, hosting various chapters, because they also know the importance and the power of a community now, right? And one more thing I have to ask, this is my one of the favorite question that I ask everyone, that let's say if you are not a cybersecurity expert or not the ethical hacker or any kind of hacker, what you would be?
I think I would have been an Air Force pilot. So my father was in defense, and he wanted me to join defense. Either it's Army, Air Force, or Navy. But no, I was interested more towards Air Force, and I wanted to become a pilot till the age of, I would say, 15 something. Then suddenly my whole target changed, whole my aim changed, and I wanted to be an ethical hacker or hacker. I would say that. So yeah, Air Force pilot.
You say you want to be a cool guy. You wanted to be a cool guy.
Good guy is like it's
Not a cool
it's not
guy, cool guy, cool guy.
cool guy. Okay, yeah. So yeah, again, so Air Force pilot is a cool guy. So if you are an Air Force pilot, so if you see the uniform, if you see
Yeah,
the Tashan, so it's
yeah,
tremendous.
yeah.
And obviously, again, that would be also the cool guy. So I will be the villain, the cool guy.
Of course, of course. That so basically, to the both has a different era, but both comes under like there's one of the fascinating job that people
Yeah.
can definitely do that. So, uh, if you, let's say, if you want to advise any of the career related thing to any of the new people or new students who want to do pursue in the cybersecurity domain, what advice you gonna give to them?
So I would say this thing, that if someone is interested, or either it's a school student or college student, and want to build their career in cybersecurity, so first of all, please, now the whole thing is changed. At that moment when I used to learn or I used to study, the whole time was different, and now it's different. Obviously, if you are not just about job or starting a company, it's about learning and understanding, and degree actually matters now. So if you want to get started in this domain, so first of all, please do bachelor's in computer engineering or computer science engineering or IT engineering, or I would go for special. I would say that go for specialization, bachelor's in cybersecurity, and again masters in cybersecurity, MTech in cybersecurity. Please do that. So if during this whole process, while you are doing bachelor's in cybersecurity or masters in cybersecurity, also do some certification courses in the domain of cybersecurity. There are multiple certification courses that companies are looking for. Companies always say that if you have masters in cybersecurity, that's great, but also you require this certification, which is mandatory for you to get into getting this job. Right. So please do some certification courses in cybersecurity. There are multiple courses that you might get online. But if you are like confused or something, you don't know what to do or which course to do, please reach out to me. I'll surely help you out there. And uh, the in domain of cybersecurity, the learning is continuous. So you have to learn cybersecurity things on regular basis, because every day something new comes up on regular basis, right? So either it's a malware, right? It's an attack, it's something, anything, like on regular basis something new comes up, right? So anything can happen every day. So you have to learn this thing on continuous basis, on regular basis. So to get started into this domain, I would say that first of all, first of all try to understand or try to learn the learning process, right? If you know how to learn, how to grasp things, I think that will be better start than get into any community, get into any program, get into any campaign, cyber awareness campaign, or into community, do some internship while doing bachelor's or master's in cyber security. Also try to share what you have, right? Let's say you have knowledge about, let's say, in any specific application pen testing, right? So please share with other people that as well, that I know this thing and this is how I learn and this is what you have to do if you want to learn as well, right? So try to create a share blogs, create some content, share with everyone, do some research work on regular basis. Then for the domain of cybersecurity specifically, there are a lot of things, depends on what you want to go for, what subdomains you want to go for. Let's say you want to go in network security or SOC, then you should have a basic or specific knowledge of how network works, what network is, how the other things works in the network and other things, right? So similarly, a lot of other things, like let's say you want to go on application security, so you should know, understand how application works, how to create application, either it's an mobile application, Android application, iOS application, or web application. So you have to learn how to create application, then how to specifically create secure application, and obviously to hack into, right? So you know what kind of loopholes will be there, then you can actually secure the application as well, right? So process is there. To follow the process, I think you will be good to go with the domain, and you can get good jobs as well, and obviously good opportunity as well.
The only would like to the comment on that Viral said a very good point. Share what you learned. So that is the best part, so that people should know. Because I really believe in the principle called learn by teaching. So teaching not about you can do it this way, but yeah, sharing the resources in terms of various ways that can really helpful, and ultimately is going to helpful to you as well. So that is that is one of the best part. And the last question that I would like to ask is, what are the 5 movies that you want to recommend to any person to they watch and get motivated for the cyber security?
So there are a few web series and movies that you should watch. One is Mr. Robot. That is a very good web series which actually shown how the actually hacking happens and all. So up to some extent, right? Then the fair latest, I think one or two James Bond movies also seen the shown this thing. Then there are a few web series on Netflix that actually it is eye opening for everyone. Whoever sees it, a web series, that you understand that what is happening around you, like Social Dilemma and other movies. So which actually help you to understand that the things that you are actually surrounded with the technology. Now, what are the disadvantages of these technologies? So that will be very serious kind of thing. And even there is one recently a movie came in called Cyber Hell. So that is also a good movie. And there are a lot of movies there are there on the domain of cyber security. But as in they shown that this is how hacking things works. Most of them are actually just for the showing purpose, not actually right. But yeah, might intrigue you. So if you want bigger, less or more movies to see, and you don't know which movies to see, and you want to ask for less or something, just ping me on my Instagram. I'll surely reply
Yes, a couple of movies that you are not going to say in public for sure. But yes, you can definitely get in touch with Viral, because he is running a very amazing community and doing a lot of things in cybersecurity domain. I still remember one thing that any people ask me that they wanted some advice in cybersecurity or need some help. Okay, and so I simply recommend one of the three people that I know. One of them is Viral, so I recommend them. But one of the interesting part is when I used to come to Gujarat, And when I meet in the event and when we talk about cybersecurity, then I told them that okay, you can connect to this guy Viral Parmar. Okay, I know him. So that happens so many times that actually the people knows you. So that can show that how much active you are, how much you are influencing people, how much you are adding the value in anyone's life. So kudos to you, and I would like to say thank you on behalf of everyone the kind of work that you are doing it. So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for that,
Thank you.
because
Thank you.
you are doing so much amazing in community, and I really appreciate the people who are doing it, because this is something you're doing by yourself, right? And so yes, any do you have any question for me, because I know I asked a lot of questions to you.
So yes, obviously, I have just one question. So you are also in the domain of cybersecurity in some ways, and also you have in communities of cybersecurity as well, like Mozilla, also aware people about privacy and security, than Auth Zero and all, right? So even we deliver one talk on Auth Zero as well, right, with regarding application pen testing and web
Right.
application security and all, right? So how was your experience with cybersecurity communities like Auth Zero and Mozilla? And yeah, what was your experience with that?
Uh, Not just Mozilla Auth Zero, I also been associated with the OAuth, but not in terms of community. But yeah, I went to the couple of conferences, and I even delivered one small course few years back. It's on DevOps security. The experience is really good, because that's the best way that I could connect to a lot of cybersecurity enthusiasts. One of them is you, of course, and a couple of more people where I met, where they are working in a different domain. Some are into mobile app testing, some specifically for the Android iOS, some of that's cyber intelligence, OSINT, lot of other things, right? So that was the my best part. One of the community that I learned a lot, I would say that it is one of the active community, and one of the community was specifically focusing on security area. So one is of course OAuth, who's doing so much amazing, and like people should, I would definitely recommend to people just go there and just be a part of this community. You can attend any meetup or event that are happening, conference, small meetup, workshops, a lot of other things. Also, there is a community called Auth Zero, where I'm very active in that community, because they're specifically into identity and management solution, where they wanted to people aware about that, how you can design this the identity management. It was one of the best part, right? Because when you were to explore any particular platform, the first thing, like how you going to enter the system and how you can personalize this. So that is the best parts, and I glad that I got a chance to represent, and I got a chance to work with a lot of amazing people as well, right? Even we started one chapter in Gujarat recently, and we did our first event, and we are going to do a lot of other events as well. So people who are watching, if you can also be part of that community, I'm going to post that link in my description, so that you can definitely join. And I would like Viral, if I think Viral was one of the speaker in our first meetup, because he is the one of the first person to come. I recall that hey, I wanted to do this in Gujarat, so can you please help me out? And he is instantly ready. We come up with the locations, and we did that. So that is the best part of community, that you meet the like-minded people, and you can jointly working together and bring something amazing into the plate. So that was my experience, and I'm continuously learning, because it's not going to stop. So yes. Okay.
That's wonderful. So I would like to say this. Thank you, Mehul, for inviting me. Thank you for allowing me to share my experience and my stories with a lot of people. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Viral, for coming, and I'm going to come up with a lot of another exciting podcast, where we are going to talk with some of the best people that I know personally. And if you know something that you want me to talk about any particular topic, you can definitely tell it. I'll find the best person and we'll talk about it. The purpose of this podcast is to cherish all the achievement that people are doing in their area, and we could also get motivated and inspired by them. So thank you so much for everyone watching and giving me the best support that you can give. And don't forget to just stay alert, and thank you for all